I have broken my own trading rules. Even though I knew what I was doing was wrong, even though I had a checklist, even though I had a strategy, but under pressure I panicked and I ignored both of them. In this video, I will explain why this happens. I will show 3 most common mistakes that every trader makes. I have made them myself. And once you start understanding what is happening inside your own head, you will start seeing a pattern that consistently every profitable trader eventually sees. Most traders never reach that stage, not because their strategy is bad, but because their brain takes over under pressure. Most traders think that losing money in the stock market is equal to bad strategy or bad entries. But if you have ever taken a trade which you knew from the starting that you shouldn't have, or if you have ever skipped a trade which followed all your rules, or for that matter if you have held on to a losing position thinking that price will bounce back from here, then this video is going to explain all of that. Basically, these 3 mistakes are a part of your body's fight or flight response, which is triggered by fear. Now you might ask me, hey Abhishek, I am just like looking at the chart and not watching a horror movie instead. But let me tell you, this is where things get interesting. What happens is the hormones which are released when you are trading are the same hormones which gets released when you are watching a horror movie. Your body reacts to these hormones, your survival instinct gets triggered, and this leads to you making impulsive decisions which clearly undermines all your rational strategies. I have experienced this in my own trading. Whenever I incurred 2 or 3 back-to-back losses, my instinct pushed me to trade more. Not because the trades followed my checklist, but because I was just hoping that I will recover my losses that day. And by the end, I would overtrade and exit the market with a huge loss. Research also shows that most traders are driven by emotions and not logic. This brings us back to the emotional driver of this whole video, that is fear. Now, fear doesn't mean that you are afraid of the market, that a trader is hesitant in trading, but instead, fear is an emotional response which is driven by deep emotional roots such as shame, anxiety, or low self-worth. Now, this might be hard to accept for a lot of traders, but let me tell you, most of the traders are not profitable because they are not honest to themselves. There is one common thing which happens in every trading session, but most of the traders never notice it. And that is, when you enter a trade, large amounts of cortisol is released in your body. This is the same hormone which leads to fight or flight response, which triggers your survival instinct. This emotional response forces you towards situational avoidance behavior. Now you will ask what situational avoidance behavior actually means. It simply means that you start avoiding things that cause you discomfort, anxiety, or distress of any kind. But in trading, this makes you commit the 3 most dangerous mistakes. Number 1, holding on to a losing trade, hoping that it will bounce back. Number 2, skipping trades which actually fulfill your checklist or your strategy. And number 3, this is my personal favorite, I still do this sometimes, which is relying on mental stop losses. Basically, all these 3 mistakes leads to only one thing, that is fear tries to protect you from committing any other major mistake. But in trading, this protection is exactly what causes losses. This video would have helped you understand your own behavior a little more clearly. If yes, then explain this to one other trader, because I literally feel that knowledge grows only when it is shared.